Okay, well, we're 3 weeks out. Give us your placings.
Well,
be precise now. Don't sit on the fence, please. I'll twist your arm.
Look, I'm going to be a little bit probably on another side that 90% of the people. Everybody's talking about Brandon.
Yep.
He's probably the top favorite coming in because of his placing, because of his physique. And I love his physique. I mean, he would be a great Mr. Olympia. But I think, and again, this is less of a technical forecast than something I feel personally. I think Roelly is going to win the title.
Based on what?
Okay, based on the fact that he is smelling blood.
Yeah.
And knowing Roelly, he needs something really big to challenge him, to put his A game on. He needs really to smell that blood and to be extremely motivated. I mean, he's been on the circuit so long. And based on that, and based on the fact of what I've been seeing from him lately in the gym, and some updates, it looks just cartoonish.
Yeah.
And if that muscle will translate on stage with last year's condition, you can be as beautiful as you want and aesthetically as you want, but he is going to destroy people. I mean, if he brings that muscle mass with the condition he can, it's just going to look freakish.
The main reason why I think Roelly could be a factor, I put it in my MD Global Muscle Buzz column a couple of months ago, and I said the one thing you don't want is a pissed off Roelly Winklaar. Because after what happened with the Arnold Classic, the Arnold Australia, where he bombed out. There was numerous reasons why, knee injuries, what was it, other things, food poisoning? Food
poisoning in Nepal, they said.
Yeah, there were several things, and I just think, that would have, as a top elite athlete, someone who's knocking on the door that really has been consistently coming back and back and back and keeps, pushing always, such a hard worker. I think, like, after the Arnold Classic, he's like, oh, God, there's no Sean Roden this year, and he probably just thought, right, this is my opportunity. Is that what you think, maybe?
Yeah, that's I'm absolutely agreeing with you. That's part of it, because he has not shown his best this year. And just due to the fact that, hey, it's open, and he is one of the guys in discussion for winning it, which he has never been before. And he knows he's not the youngest anymore. He doesn't have 10 years left in the tank. So based on that, based on what we have seen, online, I guess, I have him. I mean, it's not technical. It's just personal opinion.
Yeah.
And after that, I'll have Brandon placing second. And probably if William brings his A game, he's going to place third.
William said he's doing really well without a coach. He said he feels very relaxed. He seemed he's very happy with how he's looking. The people he goes to for advice on how he's looking, he said he feels, doesn't he, AJ? He said he feels good.
But when you say online from Roelly Winklaar, are you basing this on just that one Instagram post we all seen yesterday, or is there something more you've seen?
Well, it's also based on that, but it's based on people that I know that have seen him in the gym, who are in the same gym as him, and people I respect and I can count on their objective opinion. And they're all saying it's just out of this world what they're seeing right now. So based on that and based on just imagining what that could translate if everything goes right. That's just gonna look, he's gonna put those arms up and I mean, Brandon looks fantastic and he's big, but shit, if Roelly is in that condition with those type of muscles, I don't know.
See, Roelly's a bit of a wild card because he's either going to be like first or second or fifth or sixth. Do you agree? Or?
Yeah.
So fourth place. Now it gets more tricky.
I wanted to come back to what you said, if you allow me, Giles. That William is doing fine on himself, and that's more than realistic right now because he has experience. I mean, he has been there before.
Yeah.
Getting to that last week is relatively easy,
right?
Especially for somebody like William, who never really carries a lot of body fat. So getting lean, I don't think is a very big issue. It's just getting lean and keeping that fullness, which I don't think is really a problem for him.
Right.
But if you know a little bit what happens in an athlete's mind the last week before a competition,
yes,
and the last week before the Mr. Olympia,
yes,
and the last week before the Mr. Olympia, which you're going to do on your own for the first time, I would say that is another at least 60% of the prep. Okay. So if you ask me, the first part, getting to that last week, is 40%. And the last week is do or die. That's where you make the mistake. That's where you maybe are pushed to do not see things like they really are. If you don't have somebody who really knows your body and can work on it from the outside without having any internal feelings and pressure going on. So it's, the last week, the peak week is where a lot of people make that 5-10% difference from placing second or placing sixth. So it's going to be interesting to see how he manages that.
Yeah. So you think he maybe does need a proper prep coach like yourself, or someone like a Cito, or someone like that to reach out and maybe and help him with that last week?
I don't know if it's such a smart idea to be with somebody you haven't worked with.
Right. Okay.
Only the last week, unless it's somebody who has a little bit of insight on what has been going on.
Yeah.
But it's probably just as much of a gamble than doing it yourself. So I don't think that's the last week thing is probably something I would do before Mr. Olympia.
Okay.
But again, you've seen it at the Arnold with William. He was very good, but there was this little thing missing from the best.
Yeah.
Because he's not just compared to the other guys, he's compared to his past showings.
Yes.
Especially when he really shows up in that popping, full, crisp condition.
Yeah.
If he's just a few percent off, you see it immediately because he has so much round muscle going on. So that's where you make the difference, that last week, those last days. It's going to be interesting to see how he manages to do it himself.
I mean, at the Arnold Classic, I actually had William leading the judging. And then at the night show, William kind of looked as good, but Brandon really pulled ahead, and it just managed to eke forward. So, fourth place. Who have you got fourth?
Well, actually, I changed my mind this weekend when I saw Dexter.
Oh, really? Yeah?
Okay, what does that mean? You have him...
Well, I know for a fact that Dexter wasn't 100%.
No, far from it. Yeah.
Because knowing the experience he has, knowing the experience George has, I know that for a fact they did just the least amount they needed to do to make sure to be in good shape.
Yeah. So
if a Dexter has another 6 weeks from that condition to be a little tighter and then really fill out on an even harder frame, he can slip in that top three. And right now, just due to sheer mass, I would have him in the fourth place because Brandon, William, and Roelly just have more muscle than Dexter. But, when Dexter is on, all body parts are there. And if his stomach is in control, because that's something that this weekend was really, really not good. But the only thing that was no good, he can step in there, so he's probably going to be in fourth place.
I mean, with Dexter, it's the stomach and the legs, but the legs look good. They look like they've regained. They look like they've come back to their former glory because they were starting to decline a little bit last year, I felt, and I think you felt as well, But the stomach, so if you can get that stomach, okay. Fifth place?
With fifth place, everything is pretty much
Take a stab.
possible. But again, from this past weekend, maybe more than, again, a technical opinion, I would give you a personal. What I would like to see is Luke Sandow.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
He wasn't 100% in condition this weekend.
Yeah.
I had the feeling, again, I saw it on a screen, so I wasn't there, and it doesn't translate most of the time like it really is. But I had the feeling he's a little overcarbed.
Right.
He faded. I mean, he came out, it was pretty crisp, and then as the competition went on, I didn't see him get tighter. I saw him get a little softer. That's what the impression that I had, especially from the back. But with that amount of muscle, with that fullness, with the real deep condition, he's a great bodybuilder. He has some great poses. That front double bicep, when he pulls that stomach in, is one of the best in the business right now. So I would love to see him slip in there.
Thing is, Patrick, this is his 5th show of the year. He's been prepping since last November. Do you think, and he really peaked, but like I've never seen him peak like that at the Arnold Classic. He looked like a completely different. He beat Cedric McMillan, he beat Roelly, and off Roelly, in fairness, beat Steve Kucklow. Do you think he's got enough in the tank left to really kind of pull it out the bag and get a top 6?
Yes, I think he does. Just simply because of how he looked in Tampa.
Okay.
And simply because it always depends what you have to do to get in that kind of condition.
Yeah.
There's a lot of athletes who really have to suffer and have hours of cardio and low carbs to get that.
Yeah.
And following Luke's prep a little bit, online, like we all do, I don't think he had to really suffer badly to get in that type of condition.
Yeah.
And also due to the fact that, he is a name that many people talk about right now, and he has never been in that position. And that fire just, makes you bring the best out of you. And even if you are tired, you
Giles is not feeling it.
No, so you got Luke ahead of Nathan. And Kucklow.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do, because at this point, I think he has overall a better flow and less weak or less empty spots, like I like to call them. Nathan is fantastic, but if I go pose by pose, just starting with the front double bicep, Nathan has that very high lat, long torso, and a little smaller legs compared to Luke. He just flows better. Yeah. And just in the legs department, especially, I would have, if both are 100%, I would probably have Luke ahead of Nathan. But it can be the other way around. Okay. It's just, if I had to choose right now from what I saw, it's just a little more complete.
Okay, so we'll round out the top 6. Give us your 6th, and then give us just throw out a couple of names quickly who you think could really crack the top 10, which maybe they haven't before, and then we'll.
Somebody I really liked how he stepped up this year is John De La Rosa.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a little short, and it's difficult to.
So is Dexter.
Because Olympia is about muscle mass. Yeah. Olympia has always been about muscle.
Yeah.
But he was working with Neil, from what I understand, and that was the best John I've ever seen. So if he can bring that type of condition, maybe a little more fullness, but now that they had more time, they did more shows. He's complete. He's not missing any body parts from head to toe. He has that, the most important poses are front double bicep and back double bicep. Yeah. Let's say it the way it is.
Yeah.
And in those poses, when John is on, he looks fantastic.
That's true.
He's really symmetrical. He has no weak body parts. And if he brings the condition, he's somebody who can really step into that in that top 10 for sure.
So give me 2 names of people that are moving up outside of that top 6 that you've given.
2 names are stepping up. I'd have to. I really don't have the list in mind right now, actually. But who could be? Oh yeah. Somebody I was thinking about the other day. Somebody's physique I love. The Steve Kucklow.
Oh, Steve Kucklow. Okay. Yeah.
He has been changing the way he does things. From what I see, he's lean all the time. He has kept it lean, and that's somebody very dangerous because. He brings the muscle mass. He is tall. He is wide. And if he brings the condition 100%, that's somebody else who actually could, step in that close to top 6 and for sure be between 6 and 10. And that's somebody I would like to see in there for sure.